I have been a Charlie's Angels fan for the past 30 years. Nancy is the biggest fanatic I have ever known.
It's not up to me to dispute or argue the way she decides she wants to decorate.
This is kind of what we call our wall of angels. Hello, my name is Nancy Smith, and I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. My favorite TV show is Charlie's Angels, and has been since it debuted in 1976.
For me, it was the hair, it was the makeup, it was the glamour, it was the intrigue. It was three beautiful women on TV.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I would describe David's level of fandom probably a 10.5.
I think as a kid growing up in the Midwest, to see Farrah in sunny Southern California on the beach, blonde, tan, I think that's what made me move to California. Hey, I'm David Ross from Long Beach, California, and I'm a huge Charlie's Angels fan. I've actually been collecting since I was a child.
Charlie's Angels began in 1976 and lasted for 5 seasons. The original series began with Kate Jackson, Jacqueline Smith, and Farrah Fawcett Majors. The show featured 3 women who originally started at the police academy, but were eventually taken away from all that.
They actually worked for a guy named Charlie who they never saw, and they only got their directions from him over speakerphone.
Is the pilot still alive, Charlie?
Broken leg and hip, but he'll be all right. His name is Dan Mason, Angels, and he's our client.
Each week they went undercover as
prostitutes,
cocktail waitresses,
truck drivers,
cheerleaders,
even moonshiners,
to search out the bad guy and come back the hero.
The Angels used their wiles and their beauty to solve crimes and outwit the bad guys.
Hey, do you know if Sabrina managed to sign on to move her tail for Bartone's Airlines? She did. But the way he looked her over, I think he's after more than coffee, tea, or milk.
It wasn't meant to be Shakespeare or some high-level kind of thought-provoking series, but I think they still showed what women were capable of doing, and doing it in an entertaining way.
So I think they were inspiration to women. It was something to look up to. It was something to aspire to.
They were strong women, and they could do pretty much anything. I had a really happy childhood, and Charlie's Angels was a big part of that. From the very first time I watched it, I was hooked on it. Although my mom was like super strict in a lot of ways, she watched the show with me, so it was never something that she found offensive, and if she would have thought it was inappropriate, she wouldn't have let me watch it.
She saw Charlie's Angels as women who actively fought crime, and I think that's probably what appealed to her.
I was 7 years old when Charlie's Angels started, so I was just kind of coming aware of the world, and you kind of see these 3 women, and you kind of relate to them because they were heroes. They were actually somebody that I could look up to and be like and try to emulate. I wanted to be independent, and I wanted to be able to take care of myself.
I think she identified with the girls having a powerful role in being in charge of their own destiny.
I really related to Kelly. She had this kind of tough exterior, and I was always kind of a tomboy.
She did rate her as a 10 when she was a child.
Kelly's the one who rode motorcycles, and she was the best shooter on the team. And, you know, I wanted to be the daredevil, if you will. I mean, I even have a scar on my wrist from when I was a little kid riding my bike down the driveway and jumping off into our lawn and cutting myself on a piece of glass. So, you know, it's my Charlie's Angels scar, I guess you can say. The Angels gave me courage. I felt that there was, you know, nothing standing in my way.
If I had the opportunity to be the 4th Angel, would I? Oh, absolutely. Who wouldn't want that great wardrobe, that great sports car, toting a gun, running around LA? When the show was on in the 70s, it was on at 10 o'clock at night, which was way past my bedtime. So I would sneak out of bed, because my bedtime was 9, and get up and watch the show from the top of the stairs as my parents were watching. And I remember just being in awe of these 3 beautiful women that were on TV, and I think I was captivated from that moment on.
I think David connected with the Charlie's Angels because he felt there was an empowerment that came from those characters, from those female characters. And I think he identifies with that.
I think I was captivated by Farrah because I think she was my favorite, and I think I'm just attracted to blonde, beautiful women. And I think it was the big smile and that she was a strong, healthy California girl. And I think I was attracted to that whole sunny, beautiful Malibu lifestyle that she had. Growing up, we were constantly moving, so I think I was a chameleon. We lived in Japan, we lived in Alaska, we lived in Texas. My father was in the Air Force, so we moved every 2 years. We were in a new house, a new city, a new country. So I think watching that show really gave me a sense of home and roots.
David has met most of all the stars that acted in the Charlie's Angels?
First angel I met was Tanya Roberts. I met her backstage at that 70s show. I met Cheryl at a book signing. She did a children's book called Little Nettie Winship. I've ran into Jacqueline several times in LA. Coming to Los Angeles was obviously very eye-opening. It's the land of the beautiful people. So with a lot of hard work and a lot of practice, I got where I am today, and styling people, doing hair, doing makeup, dressing people. So it's been a fantasy come true that the girls inspired me to do 30 years ago.
My favorite piece of Charlie's Angels memorabilia, the reverse side, where you have Sabrina and Kelly obviously enjoying beating up the bad guys. I have bad luck with Charlie's Angels clocks. I have no idea why. The alarm clock doesn't work, and I have a watch. Can't find a battery for it. Charlie's Angels band. Here's a little picture of Beamish. She is a character who's in, as you can see it says The Seance. The Seance was an episode of Charlie's Angels. Nobody seems to know who played Beamish, so if you've seen this woman or you know who this woman is, we would all love to hear from you.
If you didn't know anything about Charlie's Angels, you wouldn't know what she was talking about half of the time.
Kelly, Jacqueline Smith, was my favorite angel. I managed to find Kate some clothes because she was naked, and she's wearing Farrah's old outfit. Farrah here, who unfortunately is severed in half, and these were the original dolls that I had when I was a kid. Most of the toys and stuff that I had are just really nice memories from, I remember getting them for Christmas. There were 5 seasons of Charlie's Angels. This was the first Charlie's Angels DVD that came out, kind of a collectible one. A biography of Jacqueline Smith. The only 2 VHS that were actually available in stores. This is kind of what we call our Wall of Angels. There aren't very many photos of David Doyle, who played Bosley. I don't know if I should show you this photo because it's actually of Charlie, since we never saw Charlie on the show. And this is an autographed photo that I got at a collector's show. This is Albert, and Albert was in 4 episodes of Charlie's Angels. He's actually credited. Beamish isn't credited, but the dog gets credit in 4 shows. This is a photo of Jacqueline Smith, my favorite angel, and kind of my hero when I was a kid. I got to meet Jacqueline Smith, like one of the top 10 moments of my life.
I think she ranks it above our wedding.
Oh, no, I have the wedding's first, but, it's probably right after that. Yeah. Some other Charlie's Angels memorabilia. They did novel adaptations of the books. It's kind of nice because they give a little more background that the TV show didn't give you. The Charlie's Angels casebook, which to the fans would be kind of known as the Charlie's Angels Bible. They have the lists of bikini, swimsuit, or towel, and who was wearing them in what episodes. There's some angel bikinis. The reason that Farrah supposedly never wore a bikini is that she actually had a scar from when she was a kid. I thought for sure this is where I would find out who Beamish was. No Beamish. He doesn't know who Beamish is either. I did collect most of the cards when I was a kid. That was actually a very hard card to find. I don't know if it was because all the guys kept them or what. And there were also Spanish ones. Kelly E. Chris.
There's always new things on eBay. You never know what else you'll find.
Then we have Farrah. This has the Farrah hair tips. I would tape the shows and listen to them. And then I would cut out of the TV guide the synopsis and tape it onto there. My diary from 1981. February 15th, Jacqueline Smith is a 10. 27 out of 30 days mention something about Charlie's Angels. Charlie's Angels is going to be excellent tomorrow.
As far as a favorite memory of Charlie's Angels concerning Nancy is concerned, it was probably when she went to Kansas City with her friend Debbie to meet Jacqueline Smith at a furniture store.
She had autographed the box for me. If this box ever should show up on eBay, like if I ever was willing to part with it, then I would have lost the will to live. Charlie's Angels board game. The little pink circles on here are when you land on those circles, you get a phone call from Charlie card. Everyone gets their own team of Kelly, Sabrina, and Jill. And this t-shirt was actually my t-shirt when I was about 9 years old.
We've learned how fanatical you actually can be. Nancy has taught us well.
The thing I'd probably pay the most for are original scripts from the show. One of the cooler things that I have is an actual signed script by the 3 angels that were in that episode. Cheryl Ladd, Jacqueline Smith, and Shelley Hack, and that's my only autograph of Shelley Hack that I've been able to get. Someday I would really like to have all of the scripts from Charlie's Angels.